Okay, hang on, just give me a moment here. Like that. I just want to see a few things here before we start playing. Oh. Let's see. Okay, that's something there. Anyway. Wait for that. I will do this. This is more of a stream and trying to see if things are coming up. Doing something different here. And I don't know what I'm doing. Which is nothing new. Anyway, but I'm gullible. Something. Just take those things off. Here. Pause that right now. One more thing I'm trying to do here. Chat. Okay. Let's do something here. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay, I don't know. I'll just, I'll see if something happens like that. Yeah. I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I've got a small problem. I wasn't going to do this thing. Sorry. This is going to be nothing in after the fact, but it matters now. So, instead of doing it this way. Okay. What's going on? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Come on, I'm following myself here. Something I'll look at later. This will be it. No, what are you doing? Okay. I'm just going to talk while I'm trying to get this thing together. So why am I doing a stream right now? It's something I'm thinking about right now, and just it's something that's a little confusing. By the way, I still have my cough, so happen on one occasion. So I have an article series that I do. It's called that doesn't work. Scanning My Collection. Yeah, I want to pause on here. That's better. Yeah. I do. It's an article series called Scanning My Collection, where version of my daily comic review. And what I do with it is basically go over, my hands are dry, go over comics that I have, need a more thorough examination than my regular reviews, the Daily Comic Review. And I've got a comic that I thought I was going to be able to review in that format, because there's more to talk about than just doing a simple review of it. Because, I mean, not so much its own history, but its connection to an event. I don't know if any of you have heard of this comic, Spider-Man 101 Ways to End the Clone Saga. It's not very good. It's an average-sized comic. And you would think, well, at least it could be a daily comic review, but because of its ties to the Clone Saga, well, maybe I should do a Scanning My Collection article on it. I just got through reading it a little while ago. And, yeah, there's a problem with trying to just, because I can't really, I don't know how well I can convey just how screwed up this comic is. Let me explain for people, for the few of you who may not be quite aware of what this is about. The Clone Saga, one of the many ways that the Spider writers have tried to undo Peter Parker's marriage to Mary Jane. They didn't want to just say a simple divorce and get rid of her because A, there are a lot of people who like her, and B, they were worried that divorcing the character would would age Peter somehow. Okay. And part of me understands that. Part of me also, I like the clones. I like the Spider marriage. I like the fact that Peter's kind of evolved. I like the fact that that he grows as a character, he grows as a person. But there are a lot of people who just don't outright like the marriage, and a lot of them are the writers, because they keep wanting to pretty much make Peter Parker a loser, that he has the Parker luck, which is all bad, all this other crap that's always been said about for all this time. And first off, I don't agree with any of that verbiage. I mean, I don't believe that the only thing there is to Peter is that he has bad luck. But what's supposed to appear is, Spider-Man, is that he has, well, the edict, the line we hear all over the place, with great power comes great responsibility. So it's about Parker managing his responsibilities as Peter Parker with the responsibilities that he's taken on as Spider-Man, because he feels that because he didn't use his powers when he should have. Excuse me, coughing again. And I understand that. So the writers don't. They think he's supposed to be the everyman, which is interesting considering where he is right now. I mean, he's the everyman who runs Fortune 500 a major high-tech company that was designed by a supervillain who had taken over his body. Yeah, you see some of the problem here. But they wanted to get rid of the marriage. Divorce would age the character because apparently if you follow everything that's going on just recently with Spider-Man outside of the comics, they think he should be in high school. Ultimate Spider-Man started him in high school, which was fine. It was the story, his origin, and everything else. And of course, they have to drag in all of his supporting cast, most of which he met at college, which they don't think he should have graduated to. Remember, too. Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane Watson, like Harry Osborn, pretty much everything. Everybody who was at Flash Thompson, Betty Brant, or from the Daily Bugle, he didn't meet in high school because they didn't meet until college. He didn't have Peter Parker really didn't have a supporting cast until college. But all the movies, the most recent cartoons, got him starting out in high school and meeting these people in high school. I mean, the current movie that's coming out is putting him in high school. It's not high school and then graduate to what he's doing as an adult. They're just having him as a high school student. They just like this group of people who don't think he should have ever graduated high school. When I was a kid, I really didn't read the Spider-Man comics. I tried reading one they got in a 3-pack. And it was a story in which Spider-Man is being attacked by some villain I never heard of. He was being joined by a superhero I never heard of, and another villain that I never heard of. He was talking about Gwen Stacy and Professor Miles Warren, and I hadn't heard of either of them. But I always knew Peter Parker in college. 70s Spider-Man cartoon, 70s live-action series, which I saw in rerun, both of which I saw in reruns. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Little characters. I didn't even know Mary Jane Watson until I started paying a little closer attention to the comics. Sorry. And so now we get a situation where you got people who want to put him back in high school, Stacy, who we didn't meet till college. And if you look at like Spectacular Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man movies, kind of rewrote her to be a science geek like Peter, which, he's not who Gwen Stacy was. So the best way to try to convince us that Gwen Stacy is the right guy for Peter was to not write her as Gwen Stacy. Special. But they can't. There's no way they can go back to high school yet. They'll find a way. They'll find a way somehow. You seem to have no problem messing with space and time lately. The whole Secret Wars thing, shamble of different alternate continuities and crud. So they came up with the idea of the Clone Saga, which is basically an old storyline involving Peter Parker's Spider-Man's clone. What if the clone never really died? And now we'll bring in this clone. He can be Peter Parker now. The Peter Parker we've been following will then go off with Mary Jane, and we get this new character. And then things got kind of convoluted from there. Basically, it's like, which one is the clone, which one is Spider-Man? Do the fans really want to follow a clone along? And just as the story was starting to wrap up and the new norm was being created, Marvel marketing came up, and Marvel, the whole backstory of what was going on around Marvel at the time is probably the only thing about Marvel that was more convoluted than the Clone Saga itself. Check out SF Debris' Rise and Fall of the Comic Empire. It's very telling and very frustrating. And it got frustrating for the writers because marketing said, hey, this story's doing really good for us. We really need the money. We have this other event we don't want to end around the same time. So extend the Clone Saga out. And that was a problem for the writers. That was a problem for the fans. Marketing, when marketing tries to play storyteller, they screw things up. It's not a point of let's sell the story that's being made and do it right. It's we're going to tell the story our own way. And all we care about is that they spend the money. We don't care that they enjoy it. We don't care that we've ruined all the good parts. We just want them. Our job is only to make sure they spend money. So they'll ruin all the twists. So if demand changes, they make no bloody sense to the story because they think it'll be more marketable that way. And it just causes a disaster. But this around this time, disaster was the catchphrase at Marvel. Like I said, go watch SF3's 14-part miniseries on all the problems that were going on at the time. Most of the problems are at Marvel. Some of them were at Image, but that was a company just getting off the ground. There were some problems at Valiant. Jim Shooter got screwed over sideways. Steve Gerber got screwed over sideways. I think he was kind of being a bit of a jerk too, so I don't feel sorry for him as I do Shooter. And Liefeld was pretty much jerking everybody around, so I don't feel sorry for him in the least. And all this other interesting stuff, so go check that out. Basically, the writers were getting kind of fried when it came to the Clone Saga. So I think this was meant as a kind of catharsis for them, and they thought it'd be a card for the fans as well. It's like, hey, let's make fun of all the problems we're having and give them an idea of just how much trouble we were having coming up with a way to end this because we had pushed this thing so hard. And I think they made us to laugh at their silly ideas. It's more comedic look at the problems that are going on behind the scenes, trying to get the Clone Saga works. A lot of humor here. I personally don't find it funny. Maybe some of you out there do. The problem is some of these ideas they were coming up with, and this is where I'm hitting the problem with how to review this. Some of the ideas they came up with were just so asinine. There was things like time travel and not really a clone, but time displacement, continuity errors, and Mephisto. Because, of course, anytime you want to bring Mephisto into the Spider marriage, it just ends in good. You know, that's not the thumbnail. But just such a mess. All these ideas are so stupid that I don't know if I can really describe how bad some of these concepts were in an article form. And that's kind of my problem. So much stupid was involved in this event. And again, I don't even agree with the goal. The goal was basically, let's end the spider marriage. And I like the spider marriage. So already this thing is going against me. And some of the ideas they were coming up with, it gives you an idea of just how badly this whole thing was botched up. The ideas are just so stupid. I don't know if doing it as an article can properly portray just how dumb some of these things were. So the solution is one that I came up with a few years ago, was why I added the video reviews to my arsenal, which is stuff that I don't really think I can do justice in an article form. I'll do a video review of. I haven't done anything even close to a comic thing since the Linkara multi-reviewerverse project thing that the Film Renegado had. It's like, not that I can't do it. The problem is doing this video review takes a long time, and even more so when you're doing a comic review. Even though I've only done it once, and it was only the second video I'd ever done. And then I was only working with these little bitty one size I was working at something roughly the size of this panel, maybe double the size of the panel, something like this, something like that big. This thing, from this finger here to this thumb here, and so now I got it's scanning full pages or partial panels, full pages, trying to decide how to try to time the movements along with the narration. Even if I'm not pulling off full storylines like Linkara does, it's kind of a new experience for me. Relatively new experience for me. It's a little different than simply knowing when to cut off a running video. It's choosing which panels I need to look at, which ones should be. It's not so much difficult in skill. I probably could do it. I mean, I've somewhat done it, even though I was only using static one-page splash panels in a comic that's not even a third of this, maybe a quarter of this. The problem, my dear friends, is time. And I've had enough trouble keeping up with just whatever content now. I'm doing a lot more sleeping. I seem to be being tired and lethargic, and I'm recovering from having the second of 2 major surgeries. Hopefully I won't be having any more for a long time. And so I've been doing better, obviously. I'm not doing as bad as when I first got home. I would hope not, dear God. But it's still, I'm still resting a lot and being tired and days when I don't want to do anything. And trying to do a review, a video review, is difficult enough with just doing a video. When I actually recorded everything for the Christmas review, but I didn't have time to edit it all together, so it ends up having to wait until next year, where I've got to film a whole new opening to explain the rest of the footage you'll be seeing came from last year, because last year I almost died. Basically, the blood clot in my legs will kill, same thing killed Gary Shandling, plus, major surgery. The clothes may have been on the robot. It was still major surgery. Anything can happen. But that one is me just being kind of a scaredy cat. This is the blood clot. The blood clot is one that I'm still kind of freaked out about. Yeah, I mean, I went through a lot of trouble last year. I'm stronger now, but I've actually had to drop one of my daily comic reviews from my website just to be able to do anything. And now I'm at a point, hopefully with that, maybe I can put a little more time toward article content or doing this video stuff. I got 3 BW panelings I got to do. I've got a video from 2015 that I haven't edited, and I got to draw up a bunch of stuff to go with it. And because I want to make it look pretty cool. So the point is, do I put the time into doing the proper video review of this? Or do I do an article and not give it the time I need? I mean, this is so many things wrong. It takes a pop shot at Jim Shooter and Defiant Comics, which, if you saw the aforementioned SF Debris video, you realize that's what a jerk move that actually was, because of what they did to screw over Jim Shooter's attempt to create Defiant Comics. And now here's a joke about it. And that's really mean. And there's ideas involving amnesia, and there are things that fans would have righted a lot for. And they try to explain things with time travel, which doesn't work, because then why are they both the same age? And Mephisto gets brought in because of course he did, and And they probably would have used him too if he wasn't dead at the time. Because they love using Mephisto to break up Spider-Man's marriage. But that's kind of the problem, is describing why all these things are stupid. It tries itself. Tries itself to explain why these ideas wouldn't work. But as someone whose critical nature comes from, I want to explore why these things work, these things don't work, versus whether or not I like it, period, to begin with, because good and bad is not the same as I like and don't like. It's something that I've said pretty much from the beginning, from literally my first article on VW Media Spotlight. And so trying to put that together, I don't think I can, based on that, is where I don't think I can do justice in an article. But then do I find the time to make the video? And that's kind of why I did this as a stream. I was hoping some people might join in and discuss what they were thinking, but I still see nobody. So maybe comments later? I don't know. But that's kind of the problem, is should I do the article, realize it's not going to release its full potential, or do I do the video and take the time that I should be doing on these other things? And it's right now, it is right where I am in the comic reviews. I just finished for tomorrow, which if you're watching this on the website was actually back at noon. I just reviewed this, which is The Origin of the Hulk. This comic in my long box under the Marvel Universe section actually comes before this comic. Like in my rotation, this is where it comes, because I put universes together. I don't put the Spider-Mans over here and the Hulk's over here. These are all Marvel. So, and this actually comes before this, but I didn't think I could just really comic review and really explain just why this is bad. I don't think I can do it justice as a long form, deeper review of scanning my collection. And trying to decide this is kind of locked my head. So I thought, like, even if I just did this little ramble, I don't know if I come up with a solution necessarily, but maybe I can get it out of my head and I can focus on doing other articles and whatever. Yeah, that was good on my belly. So that's kind of where I am right now, is how do I do this? Just by doing this, say, okay, well, I've got my Tuesday night posting done. I can maybe come back to this at some point. As getting my collection. Or am I saying, yeah, I've got some time. Let me, some extra time, let me take and try and do a video review of it. And that's, so I mostly did this just to have a post, but at the same time, this is why I'm having this quandary about how to review this. Why is this bad? The comedy, maybe, like I said, somebody else may think it's funny. I didn't. I didn't find the jokes funny. I was like, oh, that's stupid. That is stupid. That's dumb. That wasn't funny. But it's the backstory of everything that was wrong with the Clone Saga, not even counting what was going on behind the scenes with the infighting between between Perlman and Perlmutter and Eichner and Icon and Fletcher-Holwitz and Brimlovich and Weepy and Stumpy and Dopey and Doc and McLeod and Marvel was such a mess in the 90s. We're kind of lucky that it even survived to create the Marvel movies we have now. And even then, there's still problems going on at Marvel and at DC. Just as we didn't talk about how DC did their own screen over Wayne McDuffie, to get their hands on Static Shock once the cartoon came out and Static became so popular. But that's kind of a problem here. This whole thing is such a mess. If simply doing an article, calling it a day, is enough. But it's like I want to review this, but I want to do this right. I want to know how. Just because, not because the comic itself is special, but because of what it's attached to. Clone Saga is not something that I delve into very strongly because I really wasn't following it at the time. I did pick up a few DC comics, or Marvel comics rather, out of curiosity or because it was a character I was interested in checking out, or because it was in some kind of, kind of multi-pack. So I didn't really pick, I picked this up because I had heard of the Clone Saga and was curious. But what I've been hearing, it pretty much convinced me to stay away. But for the most part, when it came to Marvel Comics I was picking up, or as a series I could get started on to understand what was happening at Marvel, I've always been more of a DC guy until Dan DiDio and the Bad Fanfic Brigade came along. And she started ruining things even before Flashpoint. Let's not blame everything on the New 52. There were things going wrong before Flashpoint. So, and that's kind of my problem. Is a nothing comic really, but to review it is something that what it's about and what it entails kind of makes me want to look at it further because of kind of why I review, to make myself a better storyteller and to kind of examine all the stupid ideas they had and look into the failings of the Clone Saga. This is pretty much everything to avoid tried to be made fun, and for me, not me failing, because the jokes weren't funny. And that's kind of the thing. It's a nothing comic, but it represents so much that, as a critic trying to become a better storyteller and the angle I'm reviewing, I kind of have to give it more scrutiny than most anybody else would. That's the dumb part. That's the part that smacks me. It's like, this isn't much of anything to review, but what it represents, I kind of need to put more attention to it than the average person would. That's the part that's like that. I do it to myself, I think, sometimes. Well, I'm saying this. I'm putting too much pressure on myself that doesn't need to because it's such a perfect opportunity for me. So how do I do it? How do I do it justice? I don't want to give something like this a multi-part article review. I don't want to give it a super long article review. Do I put the time to make a video review out of it? Can I even do it justice there? Because this is my chance to really explore a lot of the Clone Saga's failings. As someone who really knows most of the Clone Saga secondhand. It's kind of like a good opportunity to me, but I don't know how to do it because it's such nothing comic. And is where my quandary comes from. But well, that gives you an example of where I'm coming from. At the very least, to make a post out of some kind for Tuesday night's article. And I hope you see my problem here. If not, maybe you don't, and I understand that too, because a lot of it is just my mind being my mind. But and we just got tired of my coffee and already left. But and then I cough again. But it's just kind of a situation that gives you an idea of just my approach to reviewing versus some other people, and seeing a perfect opportunity that most people wouldn't exist, and then not knowing what to do with it because nobody else would have this problem. That's kind of my problem. Is it's something unique to me, my review style, my review goals, and just the way my brain thinks. So I've pretty much solved nothing, but hopefully I can at least get this out of my system, out of my head enough that I can do other things, but try to decide just how to approach this thing. So I think we'll just stop here then. To see what I finally do, keep watching YouTube or bwspotlight.com, and we'll just go from there and see what happens. So until then, I wish you happy reviewing. But hopefully this is out of my head and I can get back to talking about other stuff until I've decided what to do. That's all.